Elementary music teacher friend, you love what you do, but you might feel unappreciated and, in fact, unseen some days. You may even feel like you're on a music teacher island and just want to connect with other music teachers who can relate to both your struggles and wins when it comes to teaching elementary music. I get you and understand completely the feelings you're having. That's why each and every week, the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast will provide you with solo and guest episodes that will help you realize you're not alone in your music teaching journey. Throughout each episode, my goal is for you to be able to walk away with actionable steps and ideas to help you feel like you're ready to take on the new week with whatever challenges may be thrown your way. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Peresta, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're at home, in your car, in the shower, or wherever else you're listening, grab your cup of coffee or whatever other beverage is nearby and listen in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast.
I'm Angela Kelly Robeck, host of the Empowered Principal Podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the podcast. You are listening to another episode of the Summer Series podcasts, and this is the fourth one. And if you have not listened to the first three, no worries. You can go back and listen to them on your own time. I shared my favorite blogs, music education blogs. I shared my favorite music education podcast and also shared a couple of my favorite business podcasts as well. And then last week's episode was about my favorite books for both children's books, professional development books, and teaching books. Today is my favorite music education YouTube channels. There is no way to share every single YouTube channel that's out there because there are a lot of them, but I am sharing some that I really enjoy and that I am going to be taking some of their ideas and using them with my students. And I will leave the list with the links to anything I mention in this episode in the show notes. So the very first one is Becca's Music Room. And you heard me mention her podcast when I did a whole episode about podcasts, because I said in that episode that her podcast episodes get pulled from her YouTube channel. So going through her YouTube channel, she has so many awesome playlists. And what I really think is neat about her channel is she does create the playlist based around what you would need to teach with. So you're not spending a long time searching and searching. You're able to just simply go to a playlist, for example, singing games, or maybe you're looking for ideas about melody. She even has a playlist called New Teacher Resources. So some of her videos are her teaching a certain idea or a certain lesson, and some of her videos are providing professional development or basically teaching the teacher. So Becca's Music Room is what her YouTube channel is called, and you will find a lot of value there. She's great at what she does, and she is great at showing you and giving examples in a practical way. The next one is probably one of my favorite YouTube channels, honestly, and I've been following him for a long time, is Mr. Henry's Music World. If you are not familiar with Bill Henry, then you are missing out. Mr. Henry's Music World is really fun because not only does he provide videos, obviously, on YouTube, thanks Captain Obvious, but the videos themselves have really cool graphics, and a lot of them are follow along videos for your students where they're able to watch something and do something with the video, if that makes sense. So one of them, for example, is called the Star Wars Rap. And instead of it just being words flashing across the screen, he has so many amazing graphics that come up and things for students to do, and it tells them on the screen what to do. I am just so, first of all, impressed that, there are so many creatives in the world that can create videos like this, because I am not one of those. I am not creative when it comes to video editing at all. But Mr. Henry's Music World is one I really do suggest. He has a lot of videos for various age groups and holidays, but he also just literally creates such creative ideas that are able to be used for a lot of different things like rhythmic counting, and one of them is the music floor is lava. So he looks at what's trending out there and what's popular with your students, and usually you'll find a video that will probably soon accompany that. The next one is Mrs. King's Music Corner. This is one that's really great because she also provides several ideas that you can use in your classroom. There's some play along videos where, let's say you're practicing rhythm with your students, different rhythms, then the different rhythmic patterns will come up on the screen, and maybe your students are clapping or doing another type of body percussion, or they're using rhythm sticks or whatever else, and then they can play along with the rhythms. There are also a lot of other types of videos where I'm looking through here. There's steady beat practice, body percussion, she has some four corner games that you can play with your students, and a lot of other things. One of the really fun ones that she has, it's inspired by Go Noodle, is she has a video called the Treble Clef Run. So some interactive stuff that your students can do. If you're looking for different movement activities or rhythmic practice, I would highly suggest you check out Mrs. King's Music Corner. The next one, that a friend told me about this channel, and I am very impressed. It's called Swicks Classroom, Swicks Classroom. And this is all Boomwhacker stuff. I wouldn't say everything on here is Boomwhacker, but a lot of, like, most of it is. And his Boomwhacker videos are great because I know if you're anything like me, I sometimes, it gets tricky knowing, what do I do with these instruments? With any instrument, not just boomwhackers, but what do I do with these? How am I supposed to teach it? What should my students be doing? And so a channel like this that just provides, one of them is the Peaches song from, the Super Mario's movie. He has a video about that that's brand new. And so he provides some activities that your students can play along with the boomwhackers while they're looking at what's on the screen. So Swicks Classroom, I would highly, highly suggest looking at his channel because the videos are just so creative that I am just, once again, it's going to be the second time I say this, but blown away by his creativity. It's just mind-boggling to me how there are so many creative artists out there. The next channel I want to mention is called Music and Motivate. And she is a great educator, and I got, when you watch one video, and I'm this way with podcasts too, and then all of a sudden you kind of go through the rabbit hole, the rabbit trail of other videos, and I just kept watching different videos of her over and over and over. And so I don't really suggest even just one video of her. She just has some great ideas. And just like I mentioned with Becca's music room, a lot of them are her showing you ideas that she does in her classroom. And other ones, she is kind of encouraging the music teacher and giving you a practical advice about things that work for her in her classroom. You're also going to find on there one of the playlists that I like is about ukulele, especially for beginner. I know that's another subject, I guess, or I should say instrument, that a lot of music teachers are always asking me for. Where do I, get ukulele resources? So she's not the only one, but I would say if you're looking for some ukulele resources, you can start on her channel because she has some that she has added there. The next one is Miss Wonderly Makes Music with Katie Wonderly. And she actually, on her YouTube channel, it's just videos that she recorded to use with her students during COVID. But the reason I wanted to include this one is because one thing I love is to see how others teach. Think about when, or maybe you're just out of college right now, but think about when you went to college and I know for me, when I did teacher observations in classrooms, like my teaching practicum, and then before I even got into my student teaching placement, one way I learned teaching the best was just by observing, getting in there, seeing the way other teachers did things. And it really helped me develop my teaching style to say, I like the way they do that, or I kind of want to change that a little bit. So with Katie doing these videos, it's really cool because you're able to see how she's pacing lessons, even in an online environment, how she's reading books to her students, ideas that she has them getting up and moving. I took some ideas from her videos of just pacing she does throughout the lessons. So I think it's great. I hope one day she does add more videos to her channel because she's just so great at what she does and she's really creative as well. The next YouTube channel I really like is just called Fun with Composers, and it's literally what it sounds like. It is a lot of different videos around composers around the world, and it has different playlists around different composers and teaches your students about these particular composers and about their music and around instruments that might be used in that particular country or that the composer composed with and all those different things. So this channel also has, it's really neat because it also has songs from around the world on there. So when I say composers, I'm not just talking about classical composers. I'm talking about composers and musical artists around the world and from different genres and things like that. So I would check that out especially if you're looking for ideas of composer activities to use in your classroom. There is a channel, the next one I want to mention, it's called Ready Go Music, but instead of just talking about the whole channel, I had just recently bookmarked just a video from their channel, but I know a lot of their videos are great. But this video is literally just easy quarter note, quarter rest, and eighth note patterns that come up on the screen, and the one note at a time will show up on the screen when it wants your students to play with it. So I just liked the video because it was simple, but it was also something that's practical to even do as a warm up in your classroom or to have your students do body percussion to, or let's say they're learning rhythmic patterns, you could have them count out loud with the rhythms that come up on the screen. So like I said, look in the show notes, you'll see that particular video linked to. And then I have one more I want to share. I had just actually seen someone post about this in one of the music education Facebook groups. And I mentioned earlier the Mario movie, it came out recently, and this is just the Mario 2023 theme. It's a rhythm play along. And so it's really cool because the background looks like I don't know how to describe it. You know, the little tunnels that Mario and Luigi jump over. That's what the background looks like with the cool looking clouds. And then they just play a simple rhythm over and over and over, but the kids, it's so exciting to hear, oh my gosh, I know this song. It's the Mario theme song. And then they're playing rhythms right along with it. And I just thought it was a really fun video. So in the show notes, look for the link that says Mario 2023 theme. I almost couldn't say that year. Wow. And then you'll be able to see that video there. Now, like I said, there are a lot of amazing music education YouTubers out there, a lot of amazing YouTube videos. And so just like with everything else I've mentioned throughout the summer series, I would just go to YouTube. And if you're looking for a particular lesson idea or you're needing support in a certain area, I would just put that in the search bar right there on YouTube and see what comes up for you. And then you may be like me and find one video that then send you on a trail of watching other videos from that YouTube creator. So I hope you got something from this episode, and I hope you found a YouTuber that you are excited to watch more of their videos. And I will be back next week with another summer series episode. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening into the Elementary Music Teacher podcast. There is an exclusive Facebook group just for listeners of this podcast and any elementary music teacher called the Elementary Music Teacher Community Facebook group. Come on over and join us there where we have conversations around the podcast episodes and encourage each other each and every week. And also head to my website, thedomesticmusician.com. I have some free resources there that you can download to help you gain traction in your classroom today, as well as the blog and the membership site and all kinds of other goodies to help you keep going in your music teaching journey. I cannot wait to keep connecting with you and encouraging you and spurring you on in your journey of teaching elementary music. Hang in there, have an amazing week, and I will see you soon.